our guest speaker is here with us, so I'll let you take the show away and do the introduction and moderate the questions.
Yes.
Then just to let everybody know, we have a video event on the Congress next year. Of course, Denmark will be.
Yes, that's right.
And then at the end of that, Steve Werblow is going to present the Star Prizes that we would normally do at the Congress. And that will allow us to wrap up the week in fine form and look forward to next year. So thank you everybody for joining us today for a toast to Denmark. Frederick, the microphone is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good night, good afternoon. I don't know what to say right now. I think we are people from all over the world. I'm very happy about this opportunity to present a little today about the Congress we are going to have next year. Today we were supposed to be on excursions, but then the COVID came and we couldn't have the Congress. But we would be in action right now if we hadn't had the COVID. It's good at least that we can meet here on Zoom. We are happy that we have been able to invite a speaker now, and that is Mr. Asger Christensen, who is a member of the EU Parliament since last year. And so he has a lot of experience on agriculture, not only as a member of the EU Parliament. Actually, he was a farmer, or is a farmer, and he had his own farm since 1982, a farm with now 600 milking cows and 400 hectares. In 1982, he was even chairman of the Young Farmers, and later he became chairman of the Local Farmers Union from 2000 to 2012. And he's also active at the local political level since 2013, and much more. I won't tell everything, because then we would never finish. He's a very active guy. Last year he was elected a member of the EU Parliament, and he's member of the parliamentary group Renew Europe, and elected as a representative for the Liberal Party Venstre. He's noted for having cycled from Denmark to Brussels to take up his position. And for those who don't know, it's actually 900 kilometers. And then I would also note that he's a member of the committee at the Parliament of the Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development. So he would be the right person to tell us something about many things, but especially the common agricultural policy in Europe. There's coming up a reform that is quite important for all European farmers, and probably also affects farmers outside the EU. So Asger Christensen, will you please start, and then we will take questions afterwards.
Yes, thank you, and I hope you can hear me. Can you?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. And I have some problems with my iPhone and my iPad, and now we have been online in 3 months, and of course it's a problem. But sorry, I'm not video on, and but you must you can only hear me. So I hope it's okay. And thank you for inviting to this online talk today, seminar today, and I am sorry about you not can take place in Ringsted, because it's a very nice place in Denmark, and Frederik, thank you for the introduction for me in this to this seminar. I can tell you, Ringsted, it was one of the first place I take seminar education courses for in Young Farmers Organization. So it's a very good place. So I hope we'll see you on Ringsted next year. and yes, as Frederik introduced me, I'm a dairy farmer from the southeast of the Jutland, and also a member of European Parliament, and I'm very happy to can represent the Danish farmers in the European Parliament, and I can tell you it's very very important to have a farmer in this committees, agri committees, and also environment, because it's a totally different. It's totally different when you are inside or outside for this committee. So it's one of the things I have learned the last. As Frederik said, I'm a member of the both committees, and it's a very good combination to be a member of these two committees, because agriculture and environment depend on each other. So it's very very important to have place in both committee, and also in the REGI committee. It's given a good balance between urban and rural areas in Europe. Consequence of the Corona crisis, it's the last 3 months have been very very difficult for everyone. The Corona crisis have effect of all us. As a member, I have been working from home. Every MEPs are working from home, and also all our staff are working from home, and it's not normal Brussels life to sit in your living room and discuss politics, but it has worked okay. And one of the positive consequences of the Corona crisis has been have more time on my farm on the spring, and it's been very very good, and also been a lot of biking in this spring. So that Frederik told, I am biking a lot, and in this year I take place in the group. There are fundraising to sclerose disease, and the final biking is in the Alps in September. So therefore, the legs shall have something to some power to cross the Alps. So so it have been some positive of the Corona crisis. One positive thing I also think you everybody has know that it is. I think after the Corona crisis we will use a lot of video conference to a short meeting, to a short information, to our on all of our works. The one company in Denmark has said now they want to have 20% of the workers from home now, because it's given more flexibility. It's given more yes, it's been very very good for the employees. Of course, I have followed this situation in agriculture very very close in during this crisis. I have been proud to represent the agriculture in the Corona crisis. In Denmark, Arla has adapted very well the situation. They have changed how they distribute the milk, and they have not been hit so bad by the crisis in the moment. In the moment, I will say, because we don't know what's happening in Middle East in the moment, because it's a very very important market for Arla. And I think also it's very important lessons from the companies working with food and drinks in this Corona crisis, because when you have a big company, so it's easy to change your production to find a new way. We have seen across in Europe, some companies are very specific on the short market. They have had a big problems. And this situation has proved how important food security is. And I am proud to have sources high quality of products to all the citizens in Europe. The debate on the food security will continue also in the Parliament, where we are working with a CAP reform after 2020 and also the European deal. The Corona crisis has affected the agriculture is more than one way. In the beginning, the closed border in Europe create a big problems. It was difficult to get agricultural products from products and seasonal workers across the borders. But EU has created a green lines to get workers and products across the borders. It's after 2-3 days after lockdown, we have created the green lines for products and seasonal workers. Some countries have still problems with get seasonal workers. It is a problem for fruit and vegetable sectors because they need many seasonal workers to harvest them. The lockdown in Europe have a big economic consequence for farmers and the sectors. The situation have been very bad for important products such as beef, dairy, goats, sheep, and wine sectors. And the wine sectors, they have also a problem with this with WTO tax from US in the moment. So they have two lines. There are problems on WTO tax and on the market in Europe. And the sector there, one sector that has been, it was the first we heard about. It was the flower sectors, and they have big problems in the beginning of the Corona crisis, because it was in the spring. The flowers was coming up, and all the shops was closed. So all the flowers was distributed to the. So it was a big problem with the sectors, for the sectors. The European Parliament has adopted some market management package, but the sector is asking for more. So we need to do more. The consequence of the Corona crisis will last sometimes. We will do what we can to help the sectors, and we have also decided a lot of things already. During the Corona crisis, we have continued the work on the CIP and European Green Deal in the Parliament, and I have spent a lot of time on this in the spring. It is important to remember that agriculture, environment, and climate depend on each other. We have been working on the new CAP, the reform for 2 years, and it is hard to agree both in the Parliament and in the Council. My main priority in the policy has focus on incentives, because that will make farmers to do even more for climate, environment, and biodiversity. I have proposed gross area models that this will give farmers incentives to leave trees, bushes, and more nature on their field. And this is very good for the biodiversity. Now I can see there's coming a picture on the screen now. Thank you for that. We also need to remember why we have the common agri policy. We need to deliver food security for all Europeans, and we need to deliver safe and quality products. And we have learned from the crisis how important that is. In relation to the Green Deal, I'm working on to include the new green business model in agriculture. I think the use of biogas, for example, and also the negative emissions are two good examples to a new green business model for farmers. And I think it's something we will discuss in a lot in this autumn. And I thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward for some questions. And also, what I said at the beginning, I look forward to see you in Mingster, hopefully next year, when the Corona crisis is back us. Because if you not can meet in Mingster next year, so we have a big problems in the world and in the society also. Thank you, Frederik.
Thank you very much, Asger. It was interesting to hear, and now we're ready to take questions. And there's one I can see from. Yeah, can I see that? That's one. Chris McCulloch, would you like to ask a question? Or shall I do it? He asks, is Denmark afraid of Brexit?
Okay, yeah. Is Denmark afraid of Brexit? Of course we are afraid, because if we get a hard Brexit, so we don't know how the border tax could be, and also for fishery, it's very important to we get a deal with Britain, because the 40% of the fish we have it's coming from the British area, so it is a big issues for Denmark. We get a agreement with Great Britain, and I hope that.
Okay, there's a question from Short. Short, will you ask your question yourself?
Yes, I will. So you were telling something about the Arla and the distribution, that they were acting relatively quick on this, and that you were pretty positive about it. So they could keep a relative good milk price. What exactly have they done then, different than other dairy plants?
You know, after the lockdown, the restaurants, hotels, and all the shops was locked down. So 40 there was the production to this customer was going down with 90% for overnight. But in the detail shops, there was being raised a lot. So over two days they changed from the supply chain to the retail shops. It was a very big change they made on a very short time. So all the customers in the retail shops, they could get the milk and the cheese and so on. So we have had a positive influence on the milk price on that change. So what I say in my speech, the next we will see is what's happening in Middle East, because there we have not seen the top of the Corona crisis yet, and also the oil price. What's happening with what influence they have on the markets.
Okay, but
So
what I actually mean is, what did Arla different than other factories that they reacted faster and better?
I think it's if you are a small company, so it's very difficult to change your production to oil lines. But in Arla, they are so big that they could change the products of to oil lines on 2 days. So it was it's hopefully I can yes, it has been a success in this change. But now it's beginning to go back again to the restaurants and the hotels and all this sectors here.
Okay. I cannot see another question online, but I have one more, and that is maybe Asger now. Chris McCulloch asked if Denmark is afraid of Brexit, and I would like to ask you how Brexit affects the budget for agriculture in the coming CAP reform. Will it cause problems and less money for agriculture, or what could happen?
Yeah, it's a good question, Frederik, because you know the council just discussed how the new MMF budget how big this should be, and also how the consequence of the Corona crisis will be recovery plans and hopefully it will the Brexit. It will not have influence on the new CAP, but I think it will be a big discussion for how we can make the new CAP without Britain.
Okay, and I can see
but as you know, I think it will the new MMF budget. I think it will go into September, October before the council get agreement on that.
Yes. Okay. There's also a question from the Turkish guilds. Ismail, will you ask your question?
Yes. Do you think there is an oversupply of milk, overproducing milk across Europe today, or will be deficient?
So is there oversupply of milk in Europe today, Asger?
Yeah.
So it was difficult to hear?
Yeah.
Try,
Yeah.
try.
Is there oversupply of milk in
Yes.
EU today?
Yes. Or that will be in near future.
Prøv lige at oversætte det, Frederik. Hvad var det?
Ja, er der overforsyning af mælk i EU? Overproduktion af mælk i EU i dag?
Altså, vi eksporterer jo cirka 4%.
Kan du svare på engelsk?
Ja, okay.
Please in English.
Yes, sorry. Sorry. There is we have exported about 4 to 5% of the total production in Europe to other countries in the world. So there is 4 to 5% overproduction. You can, if you take Europe one market, yes. And there is Denmark is one of the biggest export nations to other countries, especially Middle East and China.
Okay. And I cannot see a new question, but maybe I would ask one more then. Asger, you are a member of the parliament, but the EU politics is not only the parliament. How do you influence on the CAP? How does Asger from Denmark influence on the CAP? What do you do?
What I do, it is what I said in the beginning. It's very, very important to have place in the Agri Committee and also in the Environment Committee, because when you are sitting inside on the table with the table, so you have a big influence on the politics, and also I have a very, very good staff members. There is working very hard and a great job. They're doing a great job to get our politics into the files and the reports, and of course, if you stay in the corner and sitting on the chair, so you have no influence. But if you take your hands on and get to the hard work, so you have big influence. Yes, I hope you can. It's okay.
Thank you, Asger. And now I see there's also a question from the Gambian Guild, Network of Agricultural Communicators in the Gambia. Amadou Diallo, will you ask your question? If not, I can ask it for you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. My question was, how is COVID-19 affecting milk production and export in Denmark right now?
Det er for sandt, Frederik, for mig.
Ja, altså hvordan har COVID-19 haft betydning for dansk eksport af mælk og produktion?
In the moment, the export and the production has been normal, and also to Middle East and China, but that we are looking for in the future. As I said, how influence the oil price will get on the customers in Middle East, we don't know yet, but in the moment it's okay. And also for the meat, especially the pigs, it has been very good in the Corona crisis, special to China. The biggest problem has been the beef market, because all the restaurants and hotels and the market for the beef has been totally crossed after the lockdown, and it's still big problems for beef.
Okay, thank you. There's also a question from the Philippines, but that question will be better after the next presentation. So I haven't forgotten you, Fermin. We will come back to that later on. But then I cannot see more questions. Is that correct?
That is correct. If you'll do show the video.
Yeah. Then I will say thank you very much to Asger Christensen for taking his time to join us at this meeting and present and answer questions. We are very happy about that, and hopefully we will maybe we will see you next year as well. That would be nice. Anyway, your farm is not too far from Ringsted, so maybe
you are welcome. You are very welcome.
Thank you very much. And then I will go on to the next part of it, and that is about the Congress next year. And we're happy that we have got the challenge from IFAJ to take up the challenge for IFAJ 2021 and to again arrange a big crowd of volunteers that it needs to make it a success. And we of course hope that COVID-19 is speeded and will not make trouble for the Congress next year. But we will try to be realistic here in Denmark and build in some flexibility in the program so we can meet what challenges we would meet. Of course, we can make use of a lot of the work already done in the preparation of IFAJ 2020, which we had to cancel. The theme is still farming today for the society of tomorrow. And you can still find the program for IFAJ 2020 on the website called ifaj2020.dk. But of course, we are aware that new things happen. For example, climate change is much higher on the agenda now than when we started preparations for Congress in 2016. And we will do some updating of the program as well. So what you see on the website now, well, it gives quite a good picture of what we are going to do, but it won't be exactly the same. And we will, of course, update that on the website as we go on. But the venue for the Congress is still Ringsted Center. So if you have been looking for travel opportunities or want to do it, you can do it. The nearest airport is called Billund. The official airport abbreviation is BLL, Bravo Lima Lima, just 20 minutes away from the Congress Center where we can all stay in one place. You can also travel to Copenhagen and from there take a train to Vejle, and we will pick you up there. More about that when time is approaching. The plan is still to have the Congress in June, July. We have made reservations from June 27 to July 5, which is a wonderful time of the year in Denmark. Well, yeah, that's all there is to see. We will update the website later on. And here's a little appetizer about Danish agriculture and what you can see next year. So, Hugh, please turn on the video.
Welcome to Denmark, and welcome to a country with a population of 5.8 million people, 500,000 cows, and 20 million pigs, and to a country where more than 60% of the land area is farmed. Our present society is the result of our agricultural development, and we would like to show you how our farming of today prepares us for the society of tomorrow. During the corona pandemic, we are working at full speed to prepare the IFAJ 2021 Congress that will be held here in Denmark next summer. The coronavirus has also hit Denmark, but the epidemic is being well managed. Farmers continue to plug on and have been working every day to produce food. In fact, one farmer said, "I'm used to being part of the problem when Danes talk about slurry and pesticides and greenhouse gas emissions and leaching of nutrients. Now, I'm a hero securing food in the shops." Of course, Danish farmers have also been hit by low beef prices and falling pork prices, although the latter fell from a high level. Some types of farms have been hit hard, but in most cases, farmers have just carried on as usual, although they've washed their hands more often and practiced social distancing just like everyone else in Denmark. Denmark's very intensive farming sector has been under pressure from green organizations, animal welfare organizations, and politicians to improve environmental efficiency. A recent international report from the World Resources Institute showed that Denmark excels when it comes to producing milk and pork with low greenhouse gas emissions. This is mainly due to good feed efficiency and manure handling. Just a month ago, Danish politicians passed the country's first climate law. This means that a 70% reduction of CO2 emissions by 2030 is no longer just a good intention, it's a law. The law will affect farmers, and the agricultural industry is working intensively to find solutions. Solar panels are popping up in fields instead of crops to produce electricity. Production of biogas has almost doubled since 2012 in biogas plants co-owned by farmers and companies. Some of the biogas plants return slurry to farms with a nutrient content that is tailor-made to crop requirements. A new project called SkyClean is looking into production of sustainable fuel for airplanes. The goal is to make Denmark self-sufficient in airplane biofuel made of straw and slurry and using energy from wind turbines and pyrolysis. The byproduct, biochar, will be returned to the soil. Biorefineries that can transform grass to feed for not only cows but also pigs are popping up. The process has been proved possible. Now it just needs to become economically viable. Commercial companies have also invested in biorefineries. Growing grass will help Denmark reach its climate and its environmental goals at the same time. For example, grass in 1 out of 4 fields would solve all Danish problems with regard to nitrogen leaching. However, we're not there yet. So, last year, farmers started establishing mini wetlands that can reduce nitrate in water from drainage systems. The goal is to have 2,000 to 3,000 of these mini wetlands. The agricultural sector is constantly developing new equipment, such as improved slurry spreaders that incorporate slurry into the soil so that crops can utilize the nutrients more efficiently, thus reducing the use of artificial fertilizers. Plant and animal breeding also aim for improved production. The less feed a pig needs to produce meat and a cow needs to produce milk, the better for the environment. One major challenge is to breed Danish protein crops that can replace imported soybeans. Organic farming is also worth a mention. 13% of Danish farmland is grown organically. The market share in retail shops is also around 13%, which is apparently more than in any other country. A significant portion of farms have converted to organic farming in recent years. Danish farmer organizations know that they must deliver on climate change. In a unique and historic collaboration with a leading nature conservation organization, the National Farmers Organization has proposed to remove or redistribute 100,000 hectares of agricultural land that is not well suited for farming, land such as peatland, in order to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. 100,000 hectares represent 4% of Denmark's farmland. Denmark is an exporting country. Therefore, veterinarian standards are very important. Dairy products and pork are our most important export products, but we are also among the world's largest producers of grass and spinach seeds. Mink fur is also a big export article. Mink production is based on byproducts and waste products such as offal from slaughterhouses and fish factories. So, instead of going to waste, these products are fed to mink and transformed into luxury products. Circular economy at its best. You may think this story is all a bit overly impressive, but if you join us at the IFAJ 2021 Congress in Denmark, you can experience for yourself Danish agriculture and hear much more about farming today for the society of tomorrow. See you!
Okay, that was a video. Here it was more like pictures showing up. I don't know how the quality came out around the world, but at least to me the sound was good. And maybe it's just a bad line I'm on here. Otherwise, you can watch the video on the website and on our Facebook as well. But now it's, well, there's an opportunity to ask questions again. And actually, I postponed a question from Fermin from the Philippines before. And as I remember, he asked, what are we missing when we have to postpone the Congress from 2020 to 2021? And I hope my answer is not too much different from the one given by Per Henrik on the chat. But I think you do not necessarily miss, maybe we don't know yet, but we will try to do even better, or at least the best Congress we can next year. So far the plan is to make a copy of the Congress we would have made this year and change a little where it should be changed and improve it. So there's not a specific thing I could say that you won't see because of the postponement. And well, then I have to check if somebody have asked to, yeah.
I think, Frederick, everybody thinks it's great. There aren't any questions. When can we go?
Yeah, when can you go? So, no, it's no questions from.
Frederick, I have a question. It's Owen here.
Yes, hi. Please, Owen, go ahead.
Sorry. The video had a couple of hiccups visually, but the content was superb. The way that that your guild has responded and rebounded from the situation you're in, and the content that we're going to see when we're there looks superb. And some of the policies that Danish farmers are responding to now, some of the extreme, would appear to be extreme policies, are really significant, very, very newsworthy. And it's great to see how much news you have lined up for us. One of the questions that came forward, Per Henrik put forward the statistic that the Danish Guild has lost 7,000 euros as a result of the cancellation. And then there was a question put forward about how can we help? How can IFAJ help? Or how can various members help? Do you have any ideas along those lines other than writing you out a check? Because IFAJ, as you know from taking part in the meeting yesterday, IFAJ is also in a tough spot right now with partnerships and such. Certainly have resolve to carry on just like you do. And maybe the biggest thing that we can do to support you is to attend the Congress next year. But if you have any other thoughts on this, certainly be interested in hearing them.
Yes, and there's also a question, will the fees be the same next year? And so the help you can do is join the Congress next year, because if people will join the Congress, it will be a success, and well, we have spent money, but it will not be useless. Will the fees be the same next year? Well, probably not. We are going to make a new budget, and what are the costs, and what is the income from the sponsors, and then we can calculate the fees for next year. It's a little tough right now not in the middle of the Corona crisis, but maybe it's still affecting many things, and therefore we do not know exactly what we will get from sponsors, and there's 1 year more to go. Some of the sponsors have said we will stay with you next year, and few we even have the money on our account, but if there's no Congress, of course we have to pay it back sooner or later. But just to say, we hope, and I think the work with the sponsors is going okay. With the challenges there is now, we will know much more about the fees in 6 months from now. That's the best I can say. But if you join us, well, that will be a help. And there's some questions, I think. Jan, do you have a question?
Almost 7,000 euros times budget.
Yes, people can come.
Okay.
50.
Yeah, I can see Jan Lund. He also answered to the question on the chat. So, how many participants are we basing our budget on? It's a question from Warren, and right now I think we have made reservations for 175 participants. And yeah. More questions? Did I miss a question?
When do we toast on the hard work you already did?
What did you say?
No, I said, when do we bring a toast on the hard work you already did?
Okay, I don't know. Next year maybe. Yeah, we can do it now.
Now.
Well,
yeah.
That's all to present. We can actually do a bit of celebration with the Star Prize announcements.
That's a good idea. So thank you from Denmark. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Frederick and Asger, and thank you everybody for joining in. And the video, along with all the sessions, we've recorded all the sessions. We're just working on rural internet, so it's taking us a bit to upload and download and edit and all that stuff, but we're going to get them up as quick as we can. And Steve Werdlow, where are you? And
I am here.
For the Star Prize.
All right. Can you hear me? Is the audio okay? Okay, great. All right. I'm going to share my screen and try to get it to, there we go. Awesome. Trying not to give away any secrets quite too early. So thank you, Frederick, and to the whole organizing committee and Danish Guild. It's heartbreaking that we're not together in person, but I appreciated the appetizer, as Frederick called it, and I'm looking forward to the whole Smørrebrød next year together with vaccines and everything in our past. So what we get to do today is at least celebrate the IFAJ award program. So we've had all sorts of setbacks, from not being together to not having any sponsorships because of the economic situation, but we refuse to lay down about it, and instead we're going ahead to recognize these outstanding examples of journalism from around the world, and also to keep that professional development effort going. So every participant in this program will be getting judges' feedback in the coming week or so. So there is only one advantage to having to celebrate this remotely, is usually we tell everybody to hold their applause until all of the announcements have been made. But as long as your mic's on mute, you can hoot and holler and stamp your feet all you want anytime good news comes up on the screen. So that's our one advantage, and we'll take advantage of that. Okay, so let's start with the IFAJ prize. Let's see, I can't seem to advance this. All right, the IFAJ prize for ag tech reporting. So this started as a Caterpillar funded project, thanks to Adrian Bell's great work with Caterpillar. And we've kept it going to really zero in on reporting that has to do with agricultural technology. And we've got very tech-savvy editors and contributors as judges, and I want to thank them. The judging for these contests is really intense because we want that feedback. So it's really been lovely to have Dr. Clark, Luke Halsey, and Adrian Krebs, our longtime friend, giving their perspective. So thank you to them. So we'll start with the runner-up, and I will say that the judges had put the two winners, the runner-up and the first place, at a hair's breadth apart. Really well regarded, both of these. And the runner-up is our friend Rachel Martin from Agriland in Northern Ireland and the Irish Guild. One judge commented on her Dutch firm to test cow toilets to cut farm ammonia emissions. One judge commented on her great puns and the fun in the writing, but was sure to commend what she said was, quote, a flowing style that made me want to continue to read. So congratulations, Rachel. Well done. The 2020 prize for ag tech reporting goes to Gil Gullickson of Successful Farming in the USA for Yours, Mine, and Ours, an exploration of outcome-based pricing. One judge said was covered with insight and look into detail, and another one noted that it's an interesting topic with headline points well articulated. So these and the other winners are going to be posted on the website within the next week or so, and I encourage everybody to look at them and just learn from some really well put together reporting. Now we go on to the Star Prize for Broadcast. So in that group we have judges who from around the world who've really contributed a lot of time and dealt with the challenge of all sorts of different formats and lengths of programs and really sorting out a lot. And I want to make a special thank you to Lee Radford, who has coordinated the broadcast judging for years and has really done a spectacular job and brings probably the biggest heart in broadcasting to this mission and really takes it to heart. So let's start with the Star Prize for Audio. So the judges made a special point of recognizing Prince Apaya, Joy News in Ghana, for his outstanding story on local drying technology. The judges pointed out that not only does this demonstrate, quote, a good use of sound, but also is the sort of story that beautifully illustrates the extension mission of farm reporting, which is bringing vital technology to farmers. So congratulations, Prince. It's a spectacular piece. Now we'll go to the runner-up, and this goes to Anna Jones of the BBC World Service in the UK for a piece called The Compass, Ground Shift, the Farming Revolution. And one judge said, it's a beautifully well-rounded piece of radio, engaging and using the medium beautifully, using on-location interviews and sound. So congratulations, Anna. Now, going to the winner of the 2020 Star Prize for Audio is Damien O'Reilly of the Irish Guild for Climate Change in Irish Farming, which he produced for RTE. Speaking of producers, Damien also named his producer Eileen Heron in his application. And so we want to recognize her as well. The judges noted the challenge of bridging the topic of climate change for an audience that consists of both farmers and non-farmers. One judge added, "I always appreciate Damien's knowledge and willingness to ask difficult questions." So congratulations, Damien. Now let's have a look at digital media. And this is a toolbox that's growing every year with new approaches to telling stories. You'll see some of that in our winners. Our Star Prize for Digital Media runner-up is from our host country right now, and our next year host country, Denmark. Congratulations to Morten Damsgaard from Maskenbladet in Denmark for a story that translates into English as When Precision Agriculture Becomes Daily Life. One judge pointed out it's, quote, well presented with excellent use of dynamic video, text, and photos. So congratulations, Morten, it's a beautiful story. All right, so heading south, this year's Star Prize for Digital Media goes to Brett Worthington of the Australian Broadcasting Company for Popping Prosecco's Bubble. One judge applauded the fact that this is, quote, a beautifully presented digital entry with great use of photography and graphics and an impressive body of work. So this one, check this one out when it's on the IFAJ website. You'll come for the information and you'll stay for the beautiful navigation. It's really spectacular to see the technology at work. Congratulations, Brett. Okay, we're going to switch channels to video. And this year's Star Prize for Video runner-up is Lucy Barber of ABC TV News in Australia for her harrowing Day Zero report on the droughts down there. One judge pointed to, quote, the solid human interest case studies, end quote, that made the story so engaging to a primetime audience. So congratulations, Lucy. And the winner of this year's IFAJ Star Prize for Video is Barbecho, in the Heart of Depopulation by Diego Juste of the Union of Small Farmers and Stock Breeders in Spain. Diego's Lush program, which is an hour-and-a-half long, ran in cinemas, and it's also available online. One judge complimented the program as, quote, a most engaging and interesting piece of television, which required an immense amount of research and planning. Felicitaciones, Diego. All right, away we go from electronics to print. This year's print judges really put their hearts into a lively discussion over picking winners from so many outstanding entries from across the globe. I want to thank them for their passion for great writing and great reporting. And that really came out in the judging. We're going to start with our Star Prize for Print runner-up, Basani Bufana, a member of the South African Guild, who wrote Drought and Economic Woes Empties Zimbabwe's Cattle Bank for the Thomson Reuters Foundation. Judges noted that Basani's, quote, elegant descriptive writing and his skill in, quote, bringing the place, the people, and the impacts of the drought to life. So check out the lead when you read this one on the IFAJ website and in the days or weeks ahead. It's just great. Congratulations, Basani. And this year's Star Prize to Print goes to Ian Doig of the Canadian Farm Writers Federation for Crisis Control, which ran in Grains West. The judges were all impressed at Ian's ability to manage a great deal of information and data in a highly readable story. One applauded the story's, quote, diverse views and enough stats to ground the story without bogging it down. So congratulations, Ian. So now it's time for some visuals. The IFAJ Star Prize for Photography. So unlike the other contests, the Star Prize for Photography is judged in 2 stages. We award prizes in each of 3 categories. Then we choose among the top shots in each category to select an overall Star Prize winner. That's a lot of work for this panel of very dedicated judges who I want to thank deeply for all their commitment. Like the Star Prize for Print panel, they got into great discussions about the many outstanding images that you'll see here. I tried to make these as big as I can so you can see them on your screen, no matter what kind of device you're looking at, because these are just spectacular images, really inspiring to see what photography can do. So let's start with the nature and landscape category. The runner-up for nature landscape is this beautiful image by Hans-Jörg Jaeger of Switzerland, who shot Midlands for Bauer Zeitung. Said one judge, quote, "This is painter's vision, wonderful light, well seen." So congratulations, Hans-Jörg. Taking first place in the nature landscape category, we have Fiona Lake's delightful Cobb & Company Long Haul from Queensland Country Life in Australia. Said one judge, "The light and timing are nearly perfect. The details in the shadows are delightful." Another said, quote, "What a treat for the viewer." Congratulations, Fiona. So from the power of a photo to delight us to photography's power to break our hearts, here's the runner-up in the production category. Writing about this image by Jacqueline Curry of the Graziher magazine in Australia, which she called Heartbreaking Aftermath, one judge said, quote, "As a piece of photojournalism, it was the best of the bunch, and I will remember it long after the other images fade." So thank you for sharing the hard realities on the ground with such power, Jacqueline, and congratulations on your prize. The winner of the production category is Marcello Garbagnoli of the UK, who shot newborn sailor calf for the Farmers Guardian's FGinsight.com website. "Wow, just wow," wrote one judge. "Amazing composition, wonderful balance of light, super connection with subject." Congratulations, Marcello. Now we'll switch from cows to people. Okay, we're not totally leaving the cows. The runner-up in the people category goes to Jürgen Pistrascher of Userhof in Austria, who shot Partners Meet at Eye Level. Judges applauded Jürgen's expert use of challenging light. Said one, "The photographer had a backlit situation but saw reflected light and captured it on the subject's face." Congratulations, Jürgen. The winner of the people category this year is Matt Turner of the Australian Guild, who shot Pick of the Bunch for South Australia Weekend. The judges all noted how hard it is to shoot a good group photo, and Matt did it here. Said one judge, "His choice of props and their positioning is flawless, and the background is spot on." Congratulations, Matt. And congratulations for both of you, because we've got Austria and Australia, the kangaroos and no kangaroos concept that's so hard for some of us to get. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the judges went back to pick the 2020 Star Prize for photography winner from the top shots from each category. So here's the runner-up: Marcello Garbagnoli's newborn sailor calf. Congratulations, Marcello, on this beautiful shot. And for the 2020 Star Prize for photography, the winner is Fiona Lake of Australia. This image really stood out. Judging comments for this image tended to include the words love and unique. One judge laid it out plain by saying, quote, "I don't believe in giving perfect scores, but this one is damn close." Congratulations, Fiona, on this creative, technically skilled, and truly memorable image. So that concludes our 2020 award ceremony. So congratulations to the winners, and congratulations to everyone who entered the contest program this year. Next year, I look forward to hearing the cheering in a crowded room of friends and colleagues when we finally meet in Denmark. But in the meantime, entrants, watch for judges' comments in your inbox soon. And everyone, visit the IFAJ website next week to take a deeper dive into the winning entries. There's a lot of knowledge and skill and inspiration to be found there. Take care, everyone, and take all this inspiration with you when we can finally get out into the field.
Thank you, Steve, for what a great presentation. And congratulations to all the winners. Very deserving, very inspiring too. So that brings us to the end of eCongress week, which started off with a little gem of an idea. Let's do something in Denmark, and it spiraled almost out of control, and it's been fantastic. Owen, did you have any final words?
Yeah, this is really final for me because this is probably my last time I will be meeting with you as IFAJ president. But I just want to say, Steve, thank you for coordinating those awards. It was worth being here today to hear about IFAJ 2021. Extra worthwhile to be here to see those amazing pieces of work by our members, and it underlines how talented IFAJ members are. It's fantastic. And Steve, I know it's a challenge to put this all together. I know you did your best to get it. You worked very hard to have it ready for this event. So thanks for that, and thanks to all the judges as well, because it's certainly not easy. And I do want to say to the organizing committee, past and present, of IFAJ 2020 and 2021, that we appreciate the challenges that you've had, and we really do look forward to supporting you in whatever way we can. I see Hugh put up a very interesting idea that if we paid a little bit more for our registration next year, it could be helpful in helping you cover your deficit. And I know sponsors have been very good in standing behind you, and that Denmark has a very good relationship between agricultural journalists and the agricultural sector, a good professional one and a good personal one. I've been to Denmark, I think 3 times, and I know how well the guild runs, and the high level of agricultural expertise there. So I think we're all looking forward to visiting. I certainly am too, because one of the things that I haven't heard yet is the invitation for the IFAJ band for 2021. So Per Henrik, could you look into that for us, please?
I'll pass it on to the new steering committee with Hanne and Steve, who are here with us today. And but I'm sure they'll be very happy to dance and listen to the IFAJ fabulous band.
Hello, we can do that right now.
Thank you. I'm mostly kidding, but I'm not totally kidding. The whole idea of the culture of an IFAJ Congress brings people together, all the camaraderie, and I know we'll look forward to seeing each other again at IFAJ 2021 in Denmark. So what a great way to wrap up the Congress. Hugh, thanks for the opportunity to have some of the closing remarks here.
Here we go.
Mustang Sally, guess you better slow your Mustang down. Oh Lord, what I said now. Mustang Sally now, baby. Oh Lord, guess you better slow your Mustang down. Oh yeah, you've been running all over town now. Oh, I guess I have to put your flat feet on the ground. What I said now.
There we go. That's the end.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody. Stay tuned. We have all your emails. We'll send out links to the website or YouTube or whatever it is so that you can get access to the different sessions. We'll send out a bit of an evaluation. I think this is a good model that we can follow in the future, not necessarily for the Congress, but to do different sessions. And certainly if you have any ideas of speakers or presentations, if you want to have a meeting, this platform is available. We're more than happy to organize or help you organize. And especially if you need some simultaneous translation, we can do that for you now. So thank you, everybody. Carry on, keep calm. See you in Denmark.